Hi guys, how's it going? How is everybody doing? Where's everybody coming in from? Is it good morning or is it good evening? I'll just wait a couple of minutes. But Tanya and I are down with a bit of a cold, so we're having a competition here. Who sneezes? Who sneezes the mostest? So, hello Barry, how are you doing? So we'll just wait a couple of minutes and for people to climb on. So where are you coming from, Barry? So got an exciting webinar lined up. Oh, cool, lots of people coming on. So where's everybody from? Where are you from, Barry? Looking forward to a cool time. Can you see my Christmas tree behind me? Oh, there it is. You can just see the star. Oh, you can see the star. Okay. If I move, there we go. There's our Christmas tree. We put it up last night. It's a homemade Christmas tree. We went out to the forest some years ago, picked up pine cones, the whole big story, and I spent the whole night, one night, literally non-stop, the whole night. I started about 4 in the afternoon, finished about 9 o'clock the following morning. I can get a bit OCD. And I finished the Christmas tree. So it's all a pine cone, yeah? Pine cone Christmas tree. So Brisbane, oh my gosh, Barry, you must be nice and warm. Julian, Dartford, oh my gosh. So you're feeling the cold like I am. It is chilly, just chilly. All right, shall we get cracking? Let us get cracking. Originally from P. Oh, there you go, Tiny. A fellow Port Elizabethan. Cool. All right. Excellent. All right, so let us get cracking. So here's the here's the thing. Tiny, who is my partner, who was on last week's webinar, by the way? Let me know if you were on last week's webinar. And if you were, well done to be back, because it was so much content. Oh my gosh. It was so much content. For some reason, I can't get the chat up when I got the PowerPoint up. So let me know if you were on last week's webinar, but geez, I think I spoke 5 times faster than I normally do, and I speak pretty fast at the best of times, right? So there was that much content. So what I've done is I have made this one a little bit less intense, so we can actually have time for more questions as well. So here's the thing. The chat box, I keep it open. That's my policy. We're extremely transparent. So the chat box is there for you guys to chat, to interact, to ask questions, to comment as well. If you've got a specific question that you absolutely would love to have answered, please put it in the Q&A. Tiny will monitor that. Tiny is my business partner, lover, best friend, and hubby, and coder of the 2 amazing strategies that we have. He'll monitor the Q&A and make sure that I don't leave without having those questions answered. Okay. So the other thing is I do have a bit of a cold, so my throat will possibly just need a bit of water now and again. So let's get cracking. So my goal for this webinar masterclass is to answer many of the questions that came in as a result of last week, after last week's webinar, and also to reiterate some of the key components from last week as well. I've had so many questions from last week. It really was an intense webinar. So last week, we essentially we covered extensively the 3 distinct elements that are crucial to trading success. And the first one is your wealth thermometer, your relationship with money, your relationship with yourself, your relationship with money, and the extent of which you have self-awareness. Now, I'm going to predicate this because it's going to come up quite a bit during the course of this webinar, is that when I talk about the self-awareness, I will use it interchangeably with the spirit of who we are, and self-awareness. Okay, so you might resonate more with self-awareness, you might resonate more with spirit, but essentially they're one of the same thing. Okay, so I will use those words interchangeably as I go through. So your wealth thermometer, what your relationship is with yourself, what your beliefs are, what your beliefs about yourself and your role in the world and in your life, and also your relationship with money. It took up a lot of time last week, and it's a very extensive concept which underpins any form of trading success. And the reason why it's so heightened in trading is because often people, and you might relate to this, people who experience great success in business or in life, in other areas of life, they get into trading and they battle to get the same level of success. And one of the reasons for that is because essentially Forex trading in particular, it is like a magnifying glass over all our flaws and so cracks in our cracks in our character and personality and self-awareness. So it gives us an opportunity to address that. And unless we address it, we're going to struggle to be profitable. And it's not as highlighted as it would be in business, because it hasn't got the magnifying glass. But how you will recognize it, because you will recognize it, that in business or in other areas of wealth building, is that you won't have, you know in your heart, in your soul, that you're not getting the success that you would love to, or you feel that you deserve, or that you know you can. Something's missing. But you just can't put your finger on it. And I'm sure you will relate to that in some ways or another. And that we sort of like make up stories or maybe excuses or reasons why we're not reaching the level at which we know we can. But when it comes to Forex trading, you can't make up those reasons. And it's like putting a magnifying glass over those reasons, and it amplifies it dramatically. And that's why one of the reasons why so many people really, really struggle to be successful in trading. So it's a critical element. The other element was your trading process and objectives. Again, this is something that's massively underrated. People just absolutely don't embrace it, don't understand it. It's not taught, and it's an important concept. And then the other one is like the genius trading model. And this is something we've come up with in the Tribe of Traders. And it's essentially the format, the process on how you actually trade. Because trading is not just about placing trades, it's about trading in a certain way. And that essentially is modeling the genius trading model. But I want to just go step back a little bit. Now, a lot of people have this perception when they get into trading that trading is get rich quick, and it's not. It absolutely is not. It can't be by its very definition of according to the rules and the laws of compounding, unless of course you're starting off with a massive six-figure account. If you're starting off with a small account, it is not get rich quick, but it is something that's sold as a get rich quick. Now, there's nothing wrong with get rich quick. Make no mistake. Unfortunately, many people do buy into stay poor long, but there is absolutely nothing wrong with get rich quick. And if people have this sort of perception that you discount or dismiss stuff that is, it's just a get rich quick scheme, I would ask you, where's that coming from? Is that coming from an issue with your relationship with money, or where's it coming from? But however, that aside, trading is generally sold as a get rich quick, okay, which is a lie, because it's not. Because by trying to get rich quick trading, you're defying the laws of compounding, right? So it's not that, but what it is, and this is going to surprise you, it is a get rich easy. Because trading is easy. That's part of the challenge. Trading is absolutely easy, and that is the challenge of trading. That is why we have an issue with trading. I will unpack that a little bit later. But it is easy, but on the premise that you understand the truth about trading. Once you understand the truth about trading, which I happen to have written a book on, once you understand the truth about trading, it is honestly easy. Now, trading is a business that will give you a skill that you will have for the rest of your life. Once a skill that once acquired, it will allow you to compound money, your account, for the rest of your life like nothing else can. That's the amazing thing about trading. A skill that can turn £2,000 or dollars, whichever rands, whichever it is, into over $1 million in 5 years. When you understand how compounding works, you understand how this is possible. Now, remember what Einstein said about compounding. He who knows it or understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it. And unfortunately, the majority of society pays it. They don't understand it. Now, this is like a screenshot from one of the Tribe of Traders calculators that I just want to demonstrate with you how it can go from 2,000 to over $1 million. So let's say you've got an initial deposit of 2,000. You get you manage to get an average return per month for 5 years. Okay, that's the assumption here. Average return of 10% for 5 years. And then you top up your account. Now, this is what I call the Tribe of Traders way of compounding. There are topping up your account by a small amount each and every month has two profound and extremely high and very important impacts and reasons for it. The one is the obvious. It speeds up compounding. You'd be surprised if you take that 150 out, that will be under $1 million. And just topping it up every month, your account, it dramatically speeds up compounding. There is another very important reason, but that's for a conversation for another day. But right now, that is how you can see that if you've got 2,000 initial deposit, 10% per month, top up by 150 a month, you can see here year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over $1 million. It is not fantasy. It is real. It is doable as long as you understand the truth about trading. But as I said, note my words, it's a skill that can be learned. Okay, the very fact that it is easy, that trading is easy, coupled with a low barrier to entry, it triggers 99% of people's primary belief about money. And that is their wealth thermometer. That's what I call their wealth thermometer. It triggers this belief, or a series of beliefs, or one of many beliefs, or a culmination of a number of beliefs that would be around money is hard to get. You've got to work hard for your money. Money doesn't grow on trees. Money is evil. I don't deserve money. I haven't worked for it. I have 101 different things, 101 different beliefs that people generally have about money. Now, I spoke about this briefly last week at the webinar last week. I've spoken on stages this year a few times, and I've asked people, do you love money? And almost 99% of people said no. Oh no, money's evil, money's bad, and 101 reasons why they don't love money. And I said that equally, do you love wealth? The very same. Now, one of the issues is people see wealth and money as the same. Well, they're not quite, okay? But and some of these stages that I was on were stages with traders, okay? So if you're trading, you don't love wealth and you don't love money, you're going to have a hard time being profitable in money, aren't you? It stands to reason. So this is the wealth thermometer is a body work I came up with quite a while ago, a number of years ago, through other work I've been doing. But the thing is, majority of traders are trading from down this level: negative emotion, negative beliefs, limiting beliefs, stifling beliefs about themselves and their deserving, their relationship with themselves, their level of self-awareness, as well as their relationship with money. So last week, I'm going to jump in right here. Now, last week I showed you how our new improved trading business in a box, which is a pretty new comprehensive program we have, would get you on the path to success. So I just want to answer a few questions on that right now. So for example, in its entirety, what can you expect to get out of it? Well, essentially it's the ability to achieve a 74% success rate consistently, trading less than 30 minutes a day. That's what I get. and many of the tribe members have transformed their trading using the people who have never ever been profitable in trading now are profitable month on month on month. Now, a lot of you, I think, have listened to Joran. Actually, he's one of our coaches. He did an interview a few months ago with Cam, who many of you probably have come from Cam's Trading Nut podcast. And I know a lot of our tribe members have listened to the podcast, and a lot of the tribe members have actually joined the tribe because of Joran as well. And one of the things that Joran actually has done this year so far he has grown his account by 68%. Now, this is a guy who, when I first met him, he couldn't even put on a sell trade. He psychologically couldn't put on a sell trade. That's how charged he was, and he wasn't able to be profitable at all. We had another guy, Kevin, who's also a coach, who had been trading for something like 4 years and he hadn't had profitable months, and then he doubled his account in 11 months. Earlier this year, a woman, Patricia, joined us, and she has really struggled to be profitable, really struggled to be profitable. And using everything in the trading business in a box, she now has consistent profitable months. So this works. That is what trading business in a box will get you. It is a womb-to-tomb approach to trading, a holistic approach empowering you in all areas for success. Because, as I said, trading is not just about placing trades. And what we do is we start with the wealth thermometer. So it's a program that I've created, a proprietary program I created, where we actually get very clear on where you are at in terms of your wealth thermometer, where your setting is. So it's a process so that we take you through that will gauge the extent of which you're able to attract and retain and earn money. Okay, they're very different. Okay, and this is what that is. This will gauge the level of which you are able to do that, and then we start working in tandem to essentially rise that level on an ongoing basis. Now, just as a caveat, part of what we covered quite extensively last week is that you need to be in this level up here in the growing, what I call capitalize your challenges. This is the level at which you need to be in, and that is where we will get you to in the Wealth Thermometer program and as part of the trading business in the box. Now, 99% of traders are operating down here. So that program starts on the 12th of December. And then the other part is, and it's a very important concept, is the majority of people get into trading. They get into trading because it's get rich quick, and then they come up with a fantastical number that they want to achieve in their trading. Even though they might have more month than money, month on month, they all of a sudden want to get like 5, 10, 15 million or more in their trading. That is impossible. Right? Not alone are you like, what is your starting pot at that? If that's where your wealth thermometer is at, how are you even going to be able to relate to that sort of money? It's not. You're going to feel it's impossible. Therefore, you're going to prove it's impossible. So finding the number that works for you is a process. Okay, so that's part of a process, a proprietary program that I've created and started some time ago. That is actually very powerful, because what you're actually able to do, because what I suggest is, my suggestion to people when they start out trading is get a number that you can resonate with, to every cell in your body, that will give you financial security in 5 years. Who wouldn't want that? You can imagine financial security in 5 years. What is that number? And most people don't know what that number is. As part of the problem. Most people don't know what their financial situation is, so they don't know what number to go for. That's why they pick a fantastical high number. You'll be amazed at going through this program, the number that you come up with just to give you financial security. The returns and the demands in your trading is going to be way less than you think. Because I did this exercise for the first time just about 18 months ago, and literally in the room where people had these fantastical numbers, and I took them through this process, and I realized that just earning 4, 5, 6% a month in 5 years, they could be financially secure. That means, and the financial security we're talking about is money that they could continue living their current lifestyle plus a certain percentage more without exchanging time for money for the next 20 odd years. In 5 years. And it's not necessarily multi-millions, it's multi-hundreds of thousands. It's an amazing process, and just knowing that number gives you so much confidence and so much certainty that it massively, powerfully helps your trading. And again, that's a program we're also starting on the 14th of December. Now, these are lined up specifically in order. So the sort of stuff we get into in the Find Your Number as well. This is a screenshot of the one calculator. So this actually represents roughly my trading. So what we do is we reverse engineer. So we've got your number that you want in 5 years, reverse engineer that. What are you starting off with? What do you need per month? What are you going to top up your account? And therefore, how many trades on average you need to take? Now, I've got an analogy that, say, for example, this is mine now. My target's 12%, my average success rate is 74%. So I get a certain number of one-to-one wins, and I get a certain number of break-even. So don't worry about the detail. This is how Program Bugsy works. But and then I get a number of 2-to-1s plus. So on average, I need 9 trades. Program Bugsy plays simultaneously. They place 2 trades at a time. So I only need 8 to 9 Pogo or Bugsies a month in order to reach my target, given that I have a 74% success rate. Okay, that's it. So considering you've got 22 days on average to trade in a month, most people overtrade. Oh my gosh, most traders overtrade by far. And there's so much wrong with that. And we go into all of those reasons in the programs. And because the one thing is that very important to understand that trading needs to work for you. And the more you have trading working for you, the greater your ROI, your return on investment, will be for trading. The more time you're putting into your trading, the less your ROI is, okay? And the more vulnerable you are and the more susceptible you are to making mistakes. Because we all have lives to live. Trading is a wealth building activity. It's not a career, okay? It's a quiver, it's an arrow in our quiver of wealth building. So this is the analogy I use for people is, imagine you're in space and you've been in space for 24 months. You haven't seen family, friends, lovers, nothing, no one, okay? But NASA makes contact with you finally and says, right, Tom, you have 22 days and only 8 opportunities to hit land, where you can actually come back to Earth and start seeing family and friends. You're going to make sure that every one of those 8 opportunities in the 22 days are going to count. You're going to take the high probability trades. That's a very important concept about taking high probability trades rather than just any setup. Okay, that's something that people miss. It's a step that people miss. So it's a very important part of Find Your Number, reverse engineering to how many trades you take, and then how you actually go through a process of elimination of which trades you take, what setups you take. Okay. So actually, I've just a bit of boasting here. I've stuck a couple of these in now and again. That's my Truth About Trading book with the beautiful Lily. And Alan, we'll hear about Alan a little bit later as well. He has been really crushing it with Bugsy. We'll talk a bit more about Alan a little bit later. The other thing is, it's important to model the genius trading model. That's part of the training of the Trading Business in a Box, incorporates modeling the genius trading model. As I said earlier at the beginning, it's one of the key concepts. And part of that is having a comprehensive business trading plan. So we have that program to develop your business trading plan is on the 19th of December. Our template alone, I think, is a 57-page template. That's the template. It's a comprehensive business plan. You could almost call it business trading / life plan as well, because if you don't have a reason, if you don't have a vision, if you don't have a why, what's going to keep you inspired? So it's a very important part of the process. And again, the statistics show that the majority, over 85% of traders don't have a trade plan. And those that do have a trade plan is like a 2 or 3 page thing which they that's stuck in a drawer, a little bit like shelf-help books are stuck on bookcases, never read, never opened. Your trade plan needs to be something that you know intimately. You know it off by heart, even to the point of rehearsing it. It needs to be something that comes automatically, that you do not have any doubt. It doesn't give you any, you don't have to think of, oh, what do I do here? If, but, maybes, what's. You need to eliminate all of that doubt in order to sustain and maintain in a highly inspired state. So you're not allowing any doubt or lower vibrational beliefs to come into play. Makes sense? Okay, guys, let me know if that makes sense. How am I doing? Have I still got people on board? Give me a thumbs up and say yes, say something. I want some feedback. Last week we did, Joe, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Excellent. Last week we had a very quiet crowd until the end, didn't we, Tony? We did. So it's important that I need to know that this is making sense too, because this is really, it is like cutting edge. It is unspoken about. It is not taught in the industry, the sort of stuff that I'm talking about here. And we'll come as we go on, you'll see and understand a bit more why. Okay. So the other part, a very important part, a vital part of trading success is trade as a business. And I've spoken about this so often. In fact, I had a great discussion with Cam on trading that the last time I did an interview with him on this, on how you practically trade as a business and not just pay lip service to it, because too many people just pay lip service to it. To understand to the finest detail how your business, your trading business, needs to be treated 100% as a business. Now, you will know what trading is a business, how to treat a business, whether you're employed or self-employed, got your own business, an entrepreneur, it doesn't matter. The same philosophies, the same principles apply. So it's a very important concept, and there's a major part of the training that you get as part of Trading Business in a Box. And also, an important part of it, and is that something I'm introducing now for the first time, is we will be sending out trade journals, books, actual physical trade journal books to members that they can keep records of, no matter where they are in the world. We'll send them out every quarter. And the reason why I'm actually doing this is because one of the things that I do is I'm constantly like inquiring and researching and questioning, what can we do more? How can we make it easier? How can we make it even more flowing for members, tribe members? And my experience, having done a few programs and worked with hundreds of traders for the past couple of years now, is that the mistakes, those trades you take that are mistakes, is literally the difference between you having profitable months and losing months. Okay, now just imagine if you removed the mistakes, you're having profitable months. You are then compounding your account month on month. You will have a very different experience. Now, you may not be getting the 6%, 10%, 11%, whatever the target is you have. You may not be getting that even when you eliminate the mistakes, but by golly gosh, don't you think it will do so much for your confidence and certainty, so much for your state of inspiration, so much for your owning your greatness, owning your gift? Don't you think it will do so much for you there if you just eliminate the mistakes? And so many mistakes, they start right from the beginning on the watch list. So I want to encourage people. I know a lot of people will like to do some, not a lot actually, remarkably, some people like to do everything online, and that's okay, because we'll have an online version as well. But I'm still old-fashioned. I still write out my stuff by hand. And I think because you've got to think about it, you've got to be present. It's not just typing away and it hides away in some folder. You can actually pick up the physical book. I think it makes a massive, massive difference. And you can actually start, you have to record it, you have to fill it out. And one of the things that for me works really powerfully is when you're actually the physical act of writing, you're engaging both sides of your brain, which is incredibly important for anything creative, and that's what this is all about. So that's an important part of it. And another essential part, this essentially is encapsulated in the Genius trading model, Trader's Business and Be a Money Manager. Too many people, too many traders, and I've seen it over and over again, is they have a persona the moment they identify themselves as a trader. all right, that persona then is stereotypical. And then they feel they have to do X, Y, and Z and behave in this way and be excited about this or be prepared to embrace that. And some of the that's and this that I'm talking about is one of them is what quite horrifying, is that there are so many traders who get into trading, or people who get into trading and label themselves traders, who have been taught that the greater the extent of which you can trade through a drawdown, the greater the trader you will be. Now, Kevin, one of our coaches, he is one of those guys that was taught that. He absolutely, when he joined us, as far as he was concerned, the more he traded to a drawdown would make him a better trader. I said, hell no, that'll make you a broke person. There's no quicker way to blow your account than just trading through a drawdown. There's something fundamentally wrong if you're trading through a drawdown as a retail trader. Okay, we're not talking about fully automated robots or expert advisors and all that sort of stuff that you just leave on your accountant to do their thing. Most of which you get off the internet, though, are dodgy, all right? But some of them do have, and they're highly expertly researched in terms of probability and statistic analysis and all that sort of stuff. We're not talking about that. That's the ones the institutions use. We're not talking about that. We are talking about, as a retail trader, discretionary trader, you should never just trade through a drawdown. There's something fundamentally wrong. It's like when I say to the guys, if they've lost a couple of trades, 2-3 trades, they're going to sit back and say, okay, they're going to ask themselves a question. Is it me? Is it the strategy, or is it the market? 99.9% of the time, it's them. Okay, so nothing's going to change if you keep on doing the same thing, and expect a different outcome. That's what Einstein says is first sign of madness. Can't do that. Don't do that. Please do not do that. And that is why in the tribe, we consider ourselves money managers or wealth builders rather than traders. Right? Money manager first, trader second. It is vital to protect your capital above all else. Because there's, generally speaking, no shortage of successful strategies to one extent or another. It's how you apply them. And we'll go way into that in a few minutes. The other important concept is important is you master one strategy at a time. Guys, I cannot stress this enough, okay? Too many traders jump from one strategy to another strategy, one time frame to another, and this indicator and that indicator, and it's all a mishmash of everything, okay? How on earth can you be consistent? How on earth can you measure your progress? How on earth can you have routine? How on earth can you be confident and certain in what you're doing? And one of the reasons that's creating that, one of the things that creates that is looking for the next shiny object, looking for the next silver thingamajiggy. Okay, where's that? Bullet, silver bullet. That's it. So, so that's what's creating that. Rather than saying, "Whoa, stop. Let me take one strategy, learn it, trust it. Be comfortable in the knowledge that it is tested, understand the rules that surround it, and master it." And start getting consistent with it before you start trading other strategies. It's very important. It has literally changed the lives of hundreds of our traders. That one thing alone. So in the Tribe of Traders, we've got two strategies. We've got Pogo and Bugsy. And they are what we call semi-automated. They're actually executors, okay? They allow us discretionary ability to trade the 4-hour, but they are loaded onto a lower time frame to get in beautifully tighter entries whilst we're off enjoying life. We don't have to wait for that entry. We don't have to wait for that setup. Pogo and Bugsy does that. Bugsy on the 15-minute, Pogo on the 30-minute. Once we've identified the setup on the 4-hour, we just simply place them on the chart, and hunky-dory, we're free to go about our life and do whatever it is we wish, instead of being tied to the chart, waiting for the setup. And the beautiful thing is, once the setup has happened, if it happens, because they stay on your chart for 4 hours, because you're trading the 4-hour, executing on the lower time frame. So once if they have identified a setup, an optimal setup, they'll execute the trades for you and fully manage the trades for you. And if there's no setup, after 4 hours, they remove themselves. So like, unlike a fully automated EA, like a robot, full-on robot, it stays on your account all the time and it takes all the trades. Okay, so this is like having your own mini traders at your beck and call 24 hours a day, sort of thing. Okay, so I actually today, every single month, I do a comprehensive analysis of the market across the 30 main instruments, okay? Comprehensive analysis every single month on how many opportunities the market gave for Pogo and Bugsy. I do this every month. And November is quiet. November was quiet. For both of them, and that sometimes happens. You sometimes do get happen. It's starting to pick up now again. December is already proving to be quite nice. It sometimes happens. So for Pogo, this is the analysis for Pogo. You see here we've got the instrument, we've got the date, we've got the time. Now that time is like 1400 to 2000 hour bar, or the 1200 to the 1600 bar. Remember, we're trading the 4 hour. That's the time that we saw this the setup. Place Pogo on the 30-minute. And then that's the time that Pogo would have executed, and that's the result. And then this is the compounded result here. So in November for Pogo, there were 19 trade opportunities, 5 losses and 14 wins. For Bugsy, now Bugsy being the little brother of Pogo, very similar strategy, just executing on a lower time frame, slight different rules. It generally has 99.9% of the times, like 3, 4, 5 times as many trade opportunities in a month than Pogo does. Pogo's like the staid old man, whereas Bugsy's like the teenager younger brother. This month, Bugsy had 21 trades, 1 loss and 20 wins. So sometimes you could have, to be honest with you, that's really quiet for Bugsy. Bugsy normally has like 50, 60 opportunities in a month, and Pogo can be 19, 20, but it can go up to 40, 50 sometimes. But Bugsy just has so many opportunities. So again, I did a comprehensive analysis. Like I always say, Bugsy and Pogo has an average success rate of 83%. I've been saying that forever, and I have the last time I did a comprehensive analysis, up-to-date analysis, was April this year. And so today I actually then said, okay, let's see how the last number of months have been. So I've collated all that data, and still from December 18 to November 19, it's had Bugsy's 578 trades won, Pogo 264, 84% and an 81% success rate. So average for them combined about 83% success rate. That is pretty good going for any strategy. Okay, so that means out of 100% of the setups, 83% of them are successful. So there's the so what I got. Tiny is he's like a data guy. As Tiny says, the data never lies. He's a data, I wouldn't say fanatic, but data, what would you say? A data guy, right? Yeah. So he's put all the data we've collated over the years of testing the strategies, proving that they work, and this is the cumulative returns possible over the past year. Now, caveat to that, please guys, you will never, ever, ever get all the opportunities the market gives, okay? The purpose behind me doing this exercise to demonstrate there's no shortage. And the benefit in that is you don't fear FOMO. You don't get trapped into the FOMO mindset of trading. Too many people take trades because they're afraid of missing out. Oh, it looks like it, right? It looks like they're not quite ready, or they don't, not all the I's and T's are dots and crossed and all that. But it looks like, and they take it because they're fear of missing out. Fear of missing out. One of the biggest causes of the mistakes is fear of missing out. One of the reasons I do this is because to demonstrate, one of the reasons I do it, only one, is to demonstrate there is no shortage of opportunities. Therefore, you get to pick and choose what setups you're going to take, what time you're going to trade, and what days of the week even you're going to trade, okay? So this is the cumulative, that the blue is Bugsy, and the orange one is Pogo. So you can see like Bugsy has massive. This is the cumulative of all the opportunities the market gave. Your job is simply to get 10 to 20% of it. You will never get 100%, ever, for 100 reasons, hundreds of reasons, one of them being leverage, risk management. You're not going to be at the machine, at the computer. You're not going to be trading at that particular time. There's hundreds of reasons why you won't. But your role is to get 10 to 20% of those opportunities. And again, we broke down Tiny being the data guy, because we have literally clients in South Africa, Singapore, Thailand, Australia, New Zealand, United States, on the East Coast and West Coast, Sweden, and throughout Ireland, UK, and Europe, pretty much everywhere. I wanted to make sure that everyone is comfortable that no matter what time zone you're in, you've got as many opportunities. So you can see here. So this is 2200 to midnight London time, Los Angeles, New York, Sydney. These are the cumulative returns possible in those time zones over the year. That's correct, isn't it, Tiny? Yeah. So there's the cumulative returns possible. So you can see here for Sydney, 2 a.m. to 6 a.m., you've got 301, 107. I think it's the best, is it? For London, 8 to 12 or 11 to 15 in New York. What's after that? 18 to 2200 for Sydney. It's quite good as well. But you can see that no matter what time zone you're doing, there's lots and lots of opportunities. That's the important point to get from this. Essentially, this is just more of the same. This is Bugsy. So this would be 16 to 2000 hours UK time, and then followed by 8 to 12 UK time. So there's lots and lots of opportunities, even with this one, 2200 to midnight UK time. It's still profitable, still really good returns. If that was the only time that you could actually trade, that's the point of this. And then this is Pogo, the very same thing. All really good opportunities to try and to trade all time frames. So 99% of success in wealth building is mindset. Okay, 99%. In fact, I would almost say 100%, but let's just say 99% is mindset, without doubt. It's your level of self-awareness, or the spirit, your spirit. It's your level of self-awareness. It's your relationship with money. It's your relationship with yourself, and it's your perceptions around yourself, self-worth. Okay, now here's an important part. Now please guys, listen to this. This is vital. A minimum of 3 sets of beliefs we bring to the market. Every single time we sit down to trade, we bring a minimum of 3 sets of beliefs to the market. 100% without doubt. And they are the strategy beliefs that we bring, right? So like, for example, Pogo and Bugsy. Pogo and Bugsy use price action, and they use exponential moving averages. That is it, nothing else. We don't use any other indicator. So we believe the strategy has been well tested, researched, and back tested, and proven that there's a high likelihood that when price trends and bounces off an EMA, it's likely to continue on, right? That's a set of beliefs. All right, by default, a strategy, no matter what strategy you're using, even price action, it is based on beliefs. The second set of beliefs we bring is what I call situational, right? So if you just got up in the morning and you trade in the mornings, you just got up in the morning, you've had a bad night, you had nightmares, or you had children sick and crying, or whatever it was, and you coming to trade, right? That's going to be impacting you. Or if you're having a row with your partner, or children are running late for school, or whatever it is, whatever's going on in your life in that moment in time, that's going to be bringing out situational beliefs. That's going to be impacting your trading. It's going to be added to the strategy beliefs. The third set of beliefs we bring to the market every single time we sit down to trade is what I call inherent beliefs. And that is essentially what we fundamentally, to the core of our very bone, we believe about ourselves, our level of self-awareness, our relationship with money, relationship with ourselves and the world around us, and how we perceive life and our experiences to date. All right. Important thing is, if you introduce emotions or beliefs into your trading, you then have an untested strategy. That is the fundamental issue here. So now you can see why it is vital to have a high level of self-awareness in order to be able to understand and to see what is going on for you, what's really going on for you, not what your what your amygdala or your predator prey brain is telling you, but what's really going on for you. So I'm going to just segue here slightly quickly and talk about one of the ways in which I explain this is what I call the double glazing effect. Okay, so you take your double glazing, 2 panes of glass. I don't know if they're big in Australia or whatever. They're not in South Africa, but in the UK they're big. Okay, so you got double glazing, and it is good for keeping cold out and draft out and stuff like that. So you got 2 panes of glass, right? You've got the inner pane of glass, which is into the home, and you've got the outer pane of glass, which faces all the wind, rain, sleet, and snow. Okay. Now, the tighter they are together, the tighter those 2 panes of glass. Imagine that the inner one is your soul, your spirit, and the outer one is your amygdala, your beliefs, your predator prey brain. All right. The tighter they are together, this predator prey brain is louder by far than the voice of the heart, soul, and spirit. Okay, so that's what you're going to be responding to. In actual fact, it's often so loud that it's driven by fear. And people actually mistake that fear for gut feeling. All right, they mistake it for gut feeling because it's fear driven from the voice of the predator prey, the amygdala brain. All right, it is not the truth, the voice from the heart and soul or the spirit. It makes sense. So your job, part of the process of building self-awareness, which is what we do in the wealth thermometer, is you start increasing that self-awareness, start becoming aware of the beliefs that are limiting, aware of your reaction to those limiting beliefs and why you're doing it. That's what we do. That's what it all uncovers. And by default, you're addressing it. You are naturally, by default, increasing that wealth thermometer, increasing that self-awareness, increasing that self-worth. Those 2 panes of glass, so to speak, become further and further apart to the point where you're actually able to identify which is the amygdala voice, which is the spirit voice or your soul's voice. And then you're able to choose and listen to, obviously, you'll be wiser to listen to the voice of your soul, your spirit, which by default increases self-awareness. Okay, and that is when you're on that journey, when you start doing that, is when you start able to trade the strategy and the strategy beliefs and not including and adding into the situational and the inherent beliefs where you've actually got an untested strategy. Okay, what do you think? Any questions on that? Any feedback on that? Give me a thumbs up if that makes sense, guys. Give me a thumbs up, give me a hand raised, or whatever they do here on Zoom. Or just say yes in the chat box. That makes sense. Give me some love, guys. Give me some love. I've got a sore throat. Okay. All right. Cool. So that is why I call trading the gift that keeps on giving, because you get to create mindset shifts for yourself, unlocking innate potential, getting money mastery, and you earn and make money and grow wealth in the process. There's no 2 ways about it. That is why, for me, the trading is the gift that keeps on giving. Because and as I said earlier, trading magnifies everything. That is why you could actually be successful in so many different areas of your life, but when it comes to trading, it's really, really, really hard. And that is actually why when I got into trading, I literally fell for all the pitfalls that there was in trading. Oh my gosh, I was an emotional wreck. You know, really, I mean, I lied to my friends. I was not present with my husband. We'd go out to dinner, and I would be sitting on my phone the whole time watching the MT4 app, watching, willing a bloody trade to go to profit, willing it away from my stop loss. And then to just like, when it hits stop loss, throw the phone away, burst into tears. 50 quid, over 50 quid. It was just ridiculous. It was 1% of my account at the time. I just had a 5,000 account soon after when I just started. It was like ridiculous. All right. And it's like, it was getting worse and worse and worse. And to a point one day, I actually almost had an out of body experience. It wasn't quite, but almost, where I actually sort of like was able to like see myself acting the way I was, thinking, what on earth is going on? I'd been an entrepreneur for over 20 years. I'd started massive businesses worth millions. I had started businesses that were pioneering, made history, got like massive acclaim, incredible awards. And here I was freaking out over losing trades. It was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous. And that's when I realized, listen, this is actually going to get on top of me. It's actually going to beat me unless I do something about it. And I wasn't prepared to walk away from trading because I could see the perfection of it. I could see how much wealth you could build with it. I just was not prepared for it to beat me. And that's what started my exploration into understanding, well, what am I doing different? And it all started with then when I start putting my business hat on, my entrepreneur hat on, and looking at how I was trading and how I'm taught and how people are taught about trading with that business hat on, I started seeing things differently. Then I started recognizing, well, why am I getting triggered here? What am I getting triggered there? I started researching it and starting understanding it, started questioning people, started, so in essence, synthesizing information from hundreds and hundreds of traders that I've spoken to and books that I've read and research that I've done. And that is what has led us to where we are now, where and that is actually what led me to actually creating Pogo and Bugsy, and then getting Tiny to code them, which I sort of tricked him to code them, but anyway, it's another story, over a beer sometime, and got him to actually code them as semi-automated strategies, because I was spending, and so many people I was talking to were spending so much time at the charts. I spoke to people who'd stopped reading stories to their children for like over a year, people who've put on a stone or two from not gymming and just giving up everything, just sitting in front of the charts, you name it, I've heard about it. So I was then on a mission to figure out how to come up with strategies that would actually save time. And that's where Bugsy and Pogo came from. But not alone does it save time, it actually saves a massive amount of stress as well. So the main challenges that traders typically experience that trading Pogo and Bugsy solves include missing trades. Okay, so we don't get the long trends every day, do we? Anymore, do we? I mean, it's really, you don't really get the long trends. So we're having to trade the lower time frames and then trying to find entries on the lower time frame. Finding entries is a problem. Okay, but with Pogo and Bugsy, you don't miss the trades because you identify it on the 4 hour, you put it on the lower time frame, and that's it, job done. You're free to go away, but go about your day or night and sleep. Finding the right entry. Big issue. This is one of the biggest challenges. And one of my mentors from a while ago, he said to me when I was telling him about Bugsy and Pogo, he said that you cannot believe that in his 20 years experience, traders can do the technical analysis, they can identify the setups, but they just cannot push the button to enter the trade because they lack all confidence and certainty around actual where to get in, what price to get in, where to put the stop loss, where to put take profit. Whereas with Bugsy and Pogo, it does all that for you. So literally, when you put Pogo or Bugsy on the chart, it will take the risk that you ask it to take. It's default to take just 1% trade. It has a defaulted stop loss. It has a defaulted take profit. And it will calculate the lot size depending on the size of your account, and it will place those trades for you. You're not involved in that decision making at all, and that takes so much stress out of traders' experience with trading. You just cannot believe it. as well as actually saving massive times. As well, sticking to rules is a massive issue for a lot of traders as well. But by default, because Pogo and Bugsy is absolute, it has to be a certain way. I mean, the price action has to be as such that it will see a valid setup in order for it to execute. You're by default sticking to rules. And same with being consistent. Massive issue with traders because they jump from one strategy to another. Another big thing. Oh my gosh, I've seen it so often, where they see a setup that might work, and they usually use EMAs and Fibonacci's and occasionally maybe some RSI, right? But these three indicators are not quite lining up. So they go and throw on some alligators or some Bollingers or some stochastics or something like that. Throw on different things until they get it to agree with them. I mean, I've seen it so often. Okay, so how, if you're doing that, can you be consistent? You absolutely cannot. You cannot jump from one indicator to another and try and look for confluence, because what you're trying to do there is you're trying to prove that you're right. And it's not about being right. So you can either be right or you can be rich, not both. Okay, not having time to trade is another challenge as well. For a lot of people, especially people who've got 9-to-5 jobs and can't bring in laptops and so on to work. Whereas with Pogo and Bugsy, it's you don't need to do that. You spend your time in the morning. We spend 7 to 12 minutes doing our watch list in the morning. That's it. And then there's plenty of setups at that time. You just place Pogo and Bugsy, it does your trade, or again in the evening. Mindset, again, that's more relating to where's your entry, should you be in, should you not be in, lacking confidence, doubting yourself, whereas Bugsy and Pogo also helps with that. And then missing great opportunities, that's been a massive issue. This is like research I've done with traders, and these are the main challenges. And again, Pogo and Bugsy, you don't need to miss great opportunities. You can find a time that works for you. As we've already demonstrated, Pogo and Bugsy works across all time zones. And then finding a profitable strategy. Now, there's plenty of profitable strategies, but it's more about how the rules we apply, the beliefs we apply to those strategies. Whereas with Pogo and Bugsy, by default, there's a limit to how much belief you can actually put in, because it has to be valid to a point. And you really have to break some rules on the 4-hour in order for it for you not to be consistently profitable, right? So it actually will only trade when you put it on, and once you understand the 3 basic rules on the 4-hour, there are only 3. We're a big, massive believer in keeping it simple. 3 rules, and it's simple as this. So 4-hour needs to trend, so the EMAs need to be in order. You need 2 cycles for Pogo and price interaction with the 20 EMA. That's it. Or with Bugsy, you need the EMAs in order, 3 EMAs, the 8, 20, and 50 in order, and you need momentum. And each time the price interacts with the 8, then you've got a Bugsy potential setup. The 3 rules applies to both strategies, keeping it very simple. But most of all, Pogo and Bugsy save massive time and eliminates stress. Now, I spoke about this last week. If you want to achieve success, all you need to do is find a way to model those that have already succeeded. Tony Robbins. And this is one of the things that, one of the reasons why I liked it when I first read it recently is, well, that's exactly what the Genius Trading Model is. Model the success of the Genius Trading Model. Trade as a business, money manager mindset, and master one strategy, 100%. But then again, I'm going to add in another component. Model the success that Tribe of Traders has created, because that is what we have created, is a successful formula, a successful model. Which is very, very important. And this Richard Branson quote has been really like a North Star for me through so much of my life. If somebody offers you an amazing opportunity, but you're not sure you can do it, say yes, and then learn how to do it later. My gosh, in my businesses, I have done this over and over again, and not once have I regretted it. Not once. And that is what I'm going to say to you here today. 100%, the massive opportunity is the trading business in a box. There is no doubt about it. There is absolutely no doubt in my mind that that is an opportunity for your wealth building, for your trading, that you will never, ever, ever likely to get anywhere else. It is a phenomenal opportunity. I've been through, this is now Pogo. This is like April, you can see 49. I've seen the 43, 99, 59, 49, 36, 109. These are Pogo setups over the past year. These are Bugsy. These are the returns that the market gives. Now, obviously, the caveat, guys, please, the caveat is you will never get all of them, ever. And I'm not suggesting you will. Your job is to get 10 to 20%. That is it. That is it. There's no way you will get all of them. But take comfort from the fact that there's no shortage in the market for you to just take consistently from the market. I do love this one. Jan Erik was one of our Swedish guys, not long after he started with us last summer, I think it was. And he went on holiday to Italy. I think he went to Positano, somewhere around there. And he said 9.2% this week whilst he was on holiday, just 30 to 60 minutes before the wife woke up in the morning. He was very new. He doesn't do 30 to 60 minutes now. So we've established that Pogo and Bugsy are very profitable. Your challenge, guys, however, your challenge is keeping focused, staying aware of your beliefs about yourself and money, being conscious of the 3 beliefs that you bring to the market, and consistently modeling the genius trading model. That is your challenge. So let me ask you a question. Why are you trading? Why are you trading? To build wealth, I would imagine, would be the most popular answer, to build wealth. So what is wealth? And wealth is it is abundance in both spirit and physical form. It's not just money. Money is just the effect. Wealth is part of the cause. It's an abundance in both spirit and physical form. The higher the which you have self-worth, you will have net worth. And when I'm talking about self-worth, the higher which you have self-awareness, the higher level of self-worth. And remember I said right at the beginning, we use self-awareness and spirit interchangeably. Okay, some will feel more comfortable with self-awareness, some will feel comfortable with spirit. To me, in my mind, they're almost the same. They're one and the same. It's not just about money. By trying to separate spirit and physical form of money from wealth, or in anything like that, you're trying to separate the inseparable. They are one. And I think that's the biggest challenge. Most people try and figure out how to build wealth on their own. And often, many find that by the time they figured it out, they're old, or it's too late, and they are enslaved in liabilities. Some try building money, gathering money alone with no attention to spirit. Others try it in the spiritual form, all right? Like, or like, as I say, there, even law of attraction, like sit there and think it's all gonna fall on their lap, right? There's the 2 extremes that people often try. Or you can learn it from somebody who has generated wealth for themselves in many areas, in businesses, in trading, and taught others how to do the same as well. Now, my question is, why is it that despite wealth education, are most people not wealthy? Why is it? It's a strange one. It's because building wealth is not just about earning, growing, and retaining money. And that's the lie, that's the misconception that we have in society. It's not just about that. Money is nothing but the physical manifestation of spirit. You need both at the same time, the spirit and the physical form, the self-awareness and the physical form. The self-awareness increases your self-awareness, self-worth, and as you're doing that, your net worth increases simultaneously and effortlessly. The money comes. The money is the effect. The cause is what we need to address. If you learn about the spiritual side only, you will lack money. You look at many yogis, for example. No disrespect to yogis, I love them. I love yoga, but you will lack money, and that will lead you to living in survival rather than in abundance. And the one thing that I say, that if you're not empowered financially, you can't be empowered in life. In any area of life you're not empowered, you will be overpowered. Okay, and that is why if you're looking for it in solely in the spiritual realm, or being sort of all spiritual and only, and not in the physical form, you're going to live in survival mode or scarcity, and it's going to be impossible. Because that's why I say that the most important area for you to be empowered is financially, because if you're not empowered financially, you cannot be empowered in life, because all your time and effort and headspace is going into surviving. All right, we need to get out of that surviving mindset, out of that low vibrational state, and start increasing self-worth, and start learning about the physical side as well, and stop trying to separate the inseparable. If you learn about the physical side only, like you will have seen and heard and read about people, you might even have labeled people money grabbing or whatever it is, you will be left unfulfilled, and you will lack purpose. If you're just going for the money, you have to have both. It doesn't work otherwise. Now, I know the majority of people who teach about wealth building and trading, I'm talking about wealth building and trading, will only teach about the physical side. They leave out the whole spiritual side or the self-awareness side completely, with the result that most traders fail. Now, I have absolutely no doubt whatsoever that there must have been many aha bombs during this past hour. How long have we been going? Hour, just over an hour. Okay, there's a lot of like different stuff in here, and I know that so much of this stuff is not taught in trading. It's not even spoken about. There might be lip service paid to, your mindset and all that, but understanding it, understanding what truly drives it is what's important. Truly understanding what that mindset is, what the component parts of that mindset, what needs to be done in order to address it, and how to bring it out. Because if I said, I've said it to many people, I said, what are your beliefs about money? What are your limiting beliefs about money? What are your negative beliefs about? No, I've got no negative beliefs about money, not at all. I've got them to do a simple exercise, and 2 minutes later they come back to me and say, well, I believe money's hard to make. So don't you think that's a limiting belief? Oh yeah. So it's about how you bring it out, because if I was to ask most people, they say, no, I don't have my limiting beliefs, but ask certain other questions and it becomes apparent. That is why I wrote the book. That's why I'm writing the book, Truth About Wealth, because it's so valuable to understand both components. Now, I've written the book Truth About Trading, which incorporates it, but I believe there's a lot more learning to be done for people. So with all of this, we've literally crafted the Trading Business in a Box product with all of that in mind. That is what you get. Everything that I've spoken about, everything that I have gone through, all the pitfalls that you're likely to fall for in trading as a result of lower self-awareness, not understanding what the beliefs are that are driving you. Like, it's well-known fact, by the time you get to 30, 35, the limiting beliefs that you have started getting from when you were maybe in the early 20s, late teens, even from as a child, and those beliefs that you've garnered over the years, that they are so well established, they're so connected, they're so what we call synaptically connected. The neurons are so synaptically connected in your brain with a like protein built up around it, that it's rock solid, that it's so well embedded to the point at which you just react naturally. You just do and label and apply a meaning to things naturally without actually thinking about it. And like when you're asked, why is that? Well, because it just is. But when you actually start unpacking it, and you need to know how to unpack it, you start realizing where that came from, and you get to choose whether you want to keep it or not. It's very powerful work. The Trading Business in a Box gives you many touch points to me and the team as well, which is important. Right? It's not just like something you buy online and you go away and you're on your own and you're trading these strategies and all that. It is far, far, far from that. It is a very I mean, we are a global organization, really. We've got clients in all over the world, and we have a close relationship with every single one of them. As I always say, meet me halfway and together we'll get you to your goal. So there are many touch points. So we value the interaction, and we use various different tools to have that interaction, from Skype to Facebook to webinars to live events, the whole bang shoot. And it encompasses both the spiritual and the physical form of mentoring, coaching, and training. So we're not trying to do one without the other. We're not trying to separate the inseparable. They are one. And the more you understand that, the more you realize that, the more empowered you are to achieve the targets that you would actually love to achieve. Obviously, it includes the 2 highly successful, easy to use, stress-free, time-saving strategies, okay? That obviously goes without saying, which are Pogo and Bugsy. So I'm going to ask you a question. Would you benefit from weekly and monthly wealth and money mentoring with me, constantly increasing your wealth thermometer, daily guidance and assistance with your trading process and objectives, a whole month of one-on-one daily coaching to get mastery of Pogo and Bugsy strategies? They really are extremely easy. If you can load an indicator onto your chart, you can use Pogo or Bugsy. And a business trade development plan program to get clarity on all aspects of your trading, leaving out guesswork and hope trading, which will eliminate mistakes. And as I said before, if you eliminate mistakes, you get profitable months more often than not. And once you start eliminating those mistakes and start getting profitable months, then you've got something you can work with. You can start really growing that, because that by default increases your level of confidence and certainty. That increases your vibrational level, your state of inspiration. That increases your level of self-awareness. It's all integrated. You cannot separate one from the other. And then finding your wealth thermometer level, finding out where you are now. Do you know how empowering that is? Knowing where you are right now, and then continuously assessing it and increasing it. Knowing and embracing your number. That is so important. That's such a big mistake so many people make. And then reverse engineering that number. But of course, as you're going along this journey, because as I say, the 5-year journey, what is your number you want to achieve in 5 years? As you're going along that journey, you're increasing that number as well, if you choose to, okay? Because so much will happen on that journey that changes and adjusts. That's why trading as a business, it requires you to review and tweak, which is why I'm sending out a trade journal every quarter to make it easier for you to review and tweak. 100% professional and world-class support and ongoing training. And I'm going to add to that, actually, a world-class community as well. Often people say, there's two things people say when we ask them, what do you love about the Tribe of Traders? They'll say 2 things. The support. They care. They really care. Not just me, not just Tiny, but the coaches as well. That's Matt and Joran and Kevin. They really, really care. It's not just about the money. We're not just another number. We're not just another statistic. They really friggin' care. And the support is unbelievable, like they've never experienced it anywhere else in the world. Check the website. You will see out of their mouths, you'll hear this. And then the community. Absolutely the community. And because of the ethos that we have, it is spread throughout the community. And the tribe is there where everyone acknowledges we're all on the same journey, and we support each other so profoundly. And it's funny because they're the 2 biggest benefits that people actually say, not benefits, actually, the 2 things they love most about the Tribe of Traders is the support and the community. Obviously, we do regular training webinars, and then I have put together these amazing, if I say so myself, what I call Pogo and Bugsy cookbooks, which is hundreds of images. So I've given you, I can give you dates, all that, the breakdown of all the setups of the markets given. I've actually then extrapolated those out into books, showing you the actual images of those setups. So you can actually refer to them. and see the actual images over and over, the winning and the losing ones. Okay. So can you see that with all of these, you literally have everything that you need to set yourself up for success? You have world-class money and wealth psychology mentoring, world-class trading mindset mentoring, expertly and personalized trading process in place, 2 trading strategies with an average of 83% success rate that eliminate stress from trading and save you massive amount of time. Do you think that would be valuable to you? I want you to ask yourself that now. Do you think that would be valuable in light of everything that I've been talking about in the past hour and 15 minutes? Do you think it'd be valuable to you? Because this is a guy who joined with us about a few months ago. And I asked him after a few weeks of being with us, I said, like, I'm doing another webinar. What do you think? What is your perception of the tribe of traders? And I love what he said. I really do love what he said. He was extremely honest. But what I want to actually draw your attention to is this part at the bottom. And as I said, one of the things that Tiny and I and everybody in the tribe, we are passionate about, and that is being transparent. Okay, we're 100% transparent. And what he said is, tribe of traders won't make you successful, because we won't, and we'll never claim that. Only you can do that. He's spot on. But the tools and support and training they provide certainly will give you everything you need to get on track to profitability. And he proved that himself in a very short time. I think it was in a week or two, he got like 10.35, and he'd never experienced anything like that before. It's one of the things I say over and over and over again. You join the tribe, you meet me halfway, you take part, you embrace everything that I've got to teach and the support from myself, Tiny, and the coaches. You meet me halfway, we'll get you to your target. Of that, I'm 100% sure. Why? I've seen it over and over again. It's done it for me, done it for the coaches. I've done it for other tribe members. I know this works. Even today, one of a private client had a massive transformation. I know this stuff works. The new improved trading box, business in a box, works. It has everything that you need. So just going to recap. You're going to get a Pogo license, and then we've got what we call an alerter. Okay, so that will alert you when you put it on your chart. It will alert you when you need to actually place Pogo and Bugsy onto the chart. Okay, without going into too much detail, it's like an indicator that alerts you on your phone, on your MT4 app or email. Okay, you'll get a Bugsy license as well and an alerter. When we introduced the alerter, when we started, we didn't have the alerters. And when we introduced the alerters, I don't know, it must have like saved another 50-60% of time when we introduced them. It was just absolutely crazy. It was wonderful. And then various MT4 tools that we will share with you as well, like chart navigators and mock change, and then Trade Manager. Now, Trade Manager is bliss. It actually is amazing. It's a piece of kit that you just put onto your chart, and it can manage your trades per trade. It can manage your trades at account level, at strategy level. It's like a trailing stop loss, and you can trail it by price, bar, percentage. It's an extremely powerful piece of software. Literally, it's the difference between making 2 or 3% on trade and 6 or 7% on trade. It really is incredible. Another thing that I'm introducing to this one is Wealth Building with Judy V. It's sort of like if you've been on the Ninja, which I imagine some of you were, or not all of you, were on the Ninja Challenge that we did over the past 2 weeks. It's like the Ninja Challenge on steroids. It's a mastermind focusing 100% on this philosophy, a very important philosophy. How can I give myself a pay rise today? And that is embracing both in terms of the spirit, the self-awareness, as well as the money, the physical. Establishing a gold standard lifestyle. It's a very powerful mentor program or mastermind program, as well as the Wealth Thermometer program, which we're starting next week as well. I cannot stress to you how important that is. Incubator for 1 month as well is what we call, that's the one-to-one coaching with myself and the coaches. It's on a Skype group, so it's like fast interaction. You get fast response as well. 2 live streams a day. We do 2 live streams a day, go through the market to find out what the watch list is at that particular time, and then it's posted on the Telegram app as well. So if you can't actually make the live stream itself, you will see what the coaches have come up with on the Telegram. That's a very valuable. If you use it, it's invaluable. It is really, it's like your own personal coach available to you on call. Do you know how powerful that is? Really, really, it is just incredible. Okay, you're going to get your Find Your Number, which we're doing next week, which we spoke about quite a lot, and the Trade Plan Development Program, which is the following week as well as supporting documentation. Now this is hundreds of hours, probably thousands of hours of research, study, and synthesizing that I have done. This is invaluable. It is like PDFs and audibles and strategies that I have essentially synthesized to powerfully help your trading tactics and process, like how to be aware, how to avoid stress in your trading, and what are the indicators of stress for you. You know, knowing when to trade, when not to trade, and how to eliminate, go through a process of elimination, what setups to take, what setups not to take, and how to risk manage. It really is incredibly valuable. And then we've got a members portal with hundreds of hours of training, dozens of resources, but hundreds of hours of training, which is 100% searchable as well. So you just like key in a keyword, and it will bring up all the material that is on that topic that's included in your members area. That is really powerful. And then obviously we have the closed group, which is the community. We have one on Facebook, and we have one on Skype as well. Skype one is a little bit more social and fun. As I said to you, there's no shortage of opportunities in Bugsy and Pogo. As well as that, we have to trade Bugsy and Pogo effectively, you will require a VPS, a virtual private server. Many of you probably already know what a VPS is and probably even have one. But if you don't worry about it. It is just like, it's almost like having your computer in the cloud that you access through your PC or your computer. It is so easy. And we have a deal. We don't have one in-house. We work with a company, and we have a special offer. You get 10% discount. It is $25 a month, $25.20 for that. And it comes up preloaded and everything. And once you invest and we're part of the tribe, you get that. And if you get that VPS, we'll then get you onto Matt and Tiny and get you 100% set up. And as the guys often say, now for you guys who know what a VPS is, that's fine. But if you're like me initially, who didn't have a clue about a VPS, oh my God, it was freaky. But I can tell you, the guys have been saying to me that it doesn't matter. It's one guy actually says, I think it's Nick. He says, even if your first question is, what is a PC? Pogo itself is really easy. And even easier to use the VPS. So don't worry about the technology side of it. I promise you, it is so easy. And besides, our support is second to none. So obviously, this is the Pogo and Bugsy cookbook I was telling you about. We will send a copy of that to you, and as well as a Tribe Potatoes t-shirt with our manifesto on it, which is very important according to Tiny. That's the most important part of the box, and a Pogo tick sheet as well. Okay. I will also, we're doing this one as well. Yep. Oh my gosh. I'll also send you my 600-page Truth About Trading book as well. Okay. That really is amazing. I mean, if you're in the trading community, and if you're not, why not? You will see the comments that people are saying about that book. It really is incredible. And obviously, I've spoken about this before. Every quarter, you will get a copy of the trade journal as well. You get posted out a trade journal for you to keep track of your trades, so that you can actually go back and review and tweak. And then you get a ticket to our Pogo Day, which is our live event. We call it Pogo Day. It's become extremely popular and a lot of fun. This year we actually had Dr. John DeMartini come and speak, so it was really cool. And we also video stream it as well, so it's live video streamed. So guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I know many of you may not like me putting the values in, but you know, these are estimated values. A lot of people say, oh, they don't like that. Like, I don't particularly like it either, okay? But how else am I going to express to you the value that this trading business in a box is? How else? If anyone can show me or tell me or guide me or advise me as to how else I could do that, I would gladly embrace it. Okay, I've got no other way of identifying how that would be, okay? But I can tell you one thing, like the wealth building with Judy V, that's a 97 per month. So easily that is 1164. That is a real value. That's not made up, okay? Wealth thermometer does sell 497. I haven't put any value on the thousands of hours of research and learning on the PDFs and audibles and stuff like that. Again, the trade plan program, the find your number, the Bugsy and Pogo licenses, they sell for £118 each a month. Okay, so that's a real value. All right, the same with Trade Manager, sells at £47, £49 per month. Right, so these are real values, guys. Now the incubator coaching, 2000 value, you use it, it's way more than that. If you use it, if you really use it, it's way more than that. It's one-to-one coaching, for goodness sake. Access to me, Tiny, the coaches, really, it's way more than that. The trading book, Truth About Trading, it sells for 67. So, sorry. So these are real values. So I would put it, excuse me, sorry guys. I would put it at easily 9,000, easily, because of the extent of the values we put into it. This is Alan. I want to talk to you about Alan quickly. He set up his life. He's an English guy and was really struggling. And when he joined us, it was so amazing. It was such an amazing experience for him. And when he joined us and then he moved out to Thailand, he was making enough money to live in Thailand. And now he lives in Perth. And I honestly say that a lot of months, his success rate in Bugsy outstrips mine. In my mind, he's like the Bugsy king. He really is absolute master with Bugsy. And more than that is when he joined us, he absolutely no time for the mindset work, the spirit, the self-awareness, and no time for it. And now he's really embraced it. And his whole persona, everything about him has completely changed. His life has changed. So some more testimony. Phil Nolan, one of our club members. So who's this work for? Those who take responsibility for their wealth building, 100%. You have to take responsibility for your wealth building. And that is why you cannot separate the inseparable. Be prepared to explore and look at life in a different way. I think I've shared with you today how. I have a very clear vision of why you want to build wealth. You have to have it you have to have a why. But we get really clear on that and Find Your Number. And again, this is another guy who joined same time as Keith, actually, who I shared with you a little while ago. And he was just amazed after a few days, just hitting target, hitting profitable trades, which was unique to him. He hadn't had it before. So here's the question. If all this package did for you was give you 10% consistent returns, would it be worth 9,000 to you? Remembering how compounding works. Would it be worth it? Now, obviously, I'm not going to charge that, okay? But if I did, and all it did was give you consistent 10% returns, would it be worth it? If all trading business in a box gave you was a sustainable way forward to trade, increasing your success rate. So in other words, eliminating the mistakes and refining what you're doing right. Would it be worth 9,000? Again, understanding how compounding works. If all it gave you were the tools to trade as a money manager, saving you massive drawdowns, when you eliminate the drawdowns and you start only trading in the profits, would it be worth 9,000 to you? And if all it did was to show you how to master one strategy, saving you a massive amount of stress and time, would it be worth 9,000 to you? These are the questions that you need to ask yourself. Because I cannot think And we've built this over what, 8-9 months. We've compiled this over and over and over and enhanced it to this point. Cannot think of anything more that you could take away today that will make 2020 a completely different experience for you. Not only with your trading change, your life could change for the better, I may add. So what the offer we have for you today is $997 for the trading business in a box, and then £47 per month. There's a link. Tiny, can you put the link in the box? Okay. Now, your investment for this opportunity to ensure that you achieve a 74% success rate in your trading, £997 and then £47 per month. Or you can do it in 3 installments, because this is not about the money for us. I can't help you if you're not in my world, and I know I can help you. I have done it too often with too many other people to have any doubt myself. I do not have any doubt. So your first option is you do nothing and not take this leap of faith and get what you've always got. Or you pony up this small investment today compared to all the value that I've given you. And if you've taken part in the Ninja, you know what I'm talking about, the value that I can give, not alone last week's webinar and today's webinar, and just give it a shot. I give you a 14-day guarantee, and I tell you that's more than enough time for you to know in your heart, right? In your heart, if this is the thing for you and this is going to work for you. I don't care if it's 13 days, 23 hours and 59 minutes from now, we'll give you your money back. I've only ever done it 4 times. 4 times. The first time was, oh gosh, what was the first time? I had it blank. The first time.
It was the person who asked for money back immediately.
There's one guy, yeah, but he wasn't the first. The first time was somebody who he bought and then literally 2 or 3 days later was relocated to an oil rig. He got a new job on an oil rig. Can't trade on an oil rig. That was the one. The other one was somebody who bought and then wanted a refund because felt it wasn't for them, but then changed their mind 2 weeks later and bought again. And then there was somebody who literally bought and 5 minutes later changed their mind and hasn't bought again. There was someone else. I can't remember what that was. Anyway, literally, and all the time we've been going, it's only happened 4 times. I promise you, you aren't going to want the guarantee. You're not going to want the return because you will see straight away. So that's the offer. And I urge you to ask yourself, why would you not take it? If you have any doubts, be clear on why you have doubts. What is it? Right? Be very clear about that. If you believe what I say to be true, then join the tribe of traders, because it won't be the same again. Your trading won't be the same again. Your wealth building won't be the same again. And if you witnessed how we work in the Ninja Trading Challenge, you will see what I mean. And I'm going to go through some of the testimonials that people have left with Pearl. She's been so proactive. She's been, and we get in this type of feedback. Do you know what it does for me? It makes me want to do more. It makes me want to give more. It makes me want to help more. It's just incredible. Like, I just want to say how freaking amazing this is. I've been working on money beliefs the last few weeks and made little progress. Now, after just 2 days, I'm feeling so much more empowered and a huge shift in beliefs. So exciting. LD Barnhill, Lee Barnhill. I mean, getting this sort of feedback, guys, is just absolutely incredible. It just makes me want to do more and more, which is why I think the trading business box just keeps getting bigger and better. I opened a 10% a month automatic savings transfer. That was one of the missions in the challenge. Had to really push myself past my foolish money pain excuses and brought this to surface. Great feeling. Probably this free challenge has done more for me in 2 days than other costly month-long programs with big promises but minimal results. Shit. You're really clearing so much junk out of my subconscious. Thanks a million. I mean, geez, I couldn't even make this stuff up, eh? It's just incredible. And all I'm doing is teaching from my heart, because my #1 value in life is to be empowered and to empower others. Because for so much of my life in the past, I was overpowered. So now most important to me is to be empowered and others to be empowered. And you cannot be empowered if you're not financially empowered. So I'm not sure how to pronounce this. Tina, beautiful sounding name. Love your motivational videos. Makes my day just when I need it. So happy to be part of this challenge. My psychology is starting to click from chasing my tail for 4 years now. Thank you so much for sharing your valuable insights. Brenda, having spent a day with Judy, I'm hyped and ready for transformation. Awesome woman. I love her. Love her. So have I gone backwards? And then here's some more absolutely amazing. Jenny White got carried away. Absolutely watching the replays. And some people have gone back and done the ninja twice. This was simply amazing. Awesome. Thank you again. Just incredible. Sonia, I think Sonia's on now. Sonia, are you on? Thank you. It's given me so much clarity, laid out the foundations of my trading plan. Oh, Coral. I was a little late to the party and I've been playing catch up the last few days. You've made me think about things I haven't before. She's now joined us. Coral has actually joined the tribe. Cheryl, our South African friend, doing the Ninja Channel for the second time. And all I can say is, wow, this makes so much sense in everything we do, folks. I'm embracing it. Are you? Thank you, Judy. Guys, if you truly want to make 2020 the year that changes it for you, the year that is the catalyst for everything changing, you will join. If you want it now and not when it's too late, you will join now. Don't wait. The time is now. This is not about the money. This is never about the money. It is not about, if you're using money as an excuse, I want you to ask yourself, what is the real driving force behind that? You might hate me for saying that. I acknowledge that. I'm okay with that. Because it's more important to me that you're in my world than not in my world, because I know I can powerfully impact it. It's not about the money for you or for me. If you invest in a few months' time, this investment will be so non-entity. If you don't invest a few months' time, you won't even know where that 997 went. It's not about the money. I want you to be very clear on why you would not invest. Do you believe you deserve this? Do you believe you deserve it? If not, why not? If not now, when? You could continue doing the hard way, believing that all there is to trading is placing trades, which is a lie. Continuing to trade through drawdown with no consideration for money management, another lie. Feeling like you need to know everything there is to know about trading and spending hours and hours in front of the charts, another lie. We only teach you what you need to know to build wealth. You're not a trader, you're a wealth builder. They're the trading myths. That's why so many people fail. Old habits die hard, but if you keep doing what you've always done, you'll get the same outcome. Remember what Einstein said. Do something different. Pattern interrupt. Let me be that pattern interrupt for you. And I know there are other opportunities out there that make false claims, but with this one, you get results. And if you've been in my world for a while, you've been in the trading community, you've been in the Ninja, you've seen what I've had to say, you've been in my webinars, you know what I'm saying is true. With this package, you will be able to achieve a 74% success rate, trading 30 minutes or less a day when you meet me halfway. Meet me halfway, and that's the goal we get. Okay, like I said to you earlier, like the values, I know a lot of people don't like that, but this literally is a 97 per month mastermind. It's a sort of ninja on steroids. Okay, we focus 100% on how we can give ourselves a pay rise today. Right, that's the mindset, that's the philosophy, establishing a gold standard of life. So imagine that you could earn 10% more in some other way in your life, in your career, in your job, whatever it is. Get a pay rise of 20% in the next few months. These are the sort of things that happen when you're elevating your self-awareness, increasing your self-worth, your net worth increases simultaneously. You might be charging more for your services, getting new clients if you've got your own business, starting the business that you always wanted to start. These are the types of outcomes that you can expect in Wealth Building with Judy V, and everything that you get in there filters through into your mindset for trading. This is where it all happens. Now, as you know, the Pogo and Bergsy licenses you get, they've got an average 83% success rate. You've seen the number of opportunities they give. There's no shortage. These alone are 2,598. People are paying £118 per month per Pugsy and Pugsy and Pogo license. £118 each. Initially, the offer closed tonight because I opened it last Thursday. It closes, initially closed tonight. I'm extending it by 24 hours. It is closing tomorrow night because I need to get everyone onboarded over the weekend for our program starting next week. Okay, there's a lot of work to be done. We want to get you on board. We want to get Matt set to get Tiny doing what he needs to do to get you on board, get Matt to do what he needs to do to get you on board. I need to do what I need to do to get you on board. And I want to get it all up and running before we start our first Wealth Thermometer program next week. I want to get these 3 programs done and dusted this year before Christmas so you can really sort of like mull over it over Christmas, really go back over it, research it, reread, re-watch the webinars you do with me live with me, and then hit that road running for 2020. Okay, as I said, it's never about the money. It's not about the money for me. That's not going to make me rich, but it's the best that I can do. It's the best package I can put together that I know that I can powerfully help you. I know that without any doubt in my mind. And as I said, you can actually choose the 3-month option as well. If you go to the page, there's an option to choose the 3-month, isn't there? Sure. Yeah. So any questions? I think that's it from me. I will just go, I'll stop share. Okay, just looking at some of the comments. Awesome. Okay, any questions? Tony, was there any questions in the Q&A? Hello, Tony. Hi. Everyone, whoever quit this, excellent. I appreciate your comment there, Tony, Anthony. Appreciate it. Excellent. Okay, so I've overran only by 12 minutes. That is a record. Gosh, that is a record. That is a record. Can't push the button. Okay, so Barry, yes, yeah, can't push the button. A lot of people are like that, a lot. Okay, are there any questions? Okay, then I shall love and leave you. Just going back over. Tony, you didn't pick up any questions, did you?
No, I didn't.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, just maybe if there's anything that people don't understand, just maybe ask them.
Is there anything you don't understand? You've got a question about the self-awareness, any question about beliefs, anything you got? Oh, Patricia, hello. How are you? You're always helpful. Excellent. Patricia is one of the ladies that's doing really, really well. Well done, Patricia. You are so embracing this this work. It's just, you are such an inspiration. You really are. So well done. You're welcome. All right. Cool. And I shall see some of you guys. I see, okay, so I'll see some of you guys in the morning. Hello, Stu, you're here too. I'll see some of you guys in the morning for the monthly analysis. Thanks, Tony, for that comment. Appreciate it. All right, so there's no questions. I am going to go and love and leave you. If anything pops up during the night or tomorrow during the day, just email us, pop me a question into the trading community. If you want to chat to me, reach out to me, let me know. I'm available to chat. In fact, if you really want to chat to me, I'm available all day tomorrow. Okay, so just reach out to me. All right, if you want to chat about anything, you want to chat about offline, that's perfectly okay. All right, guys, I'm going to love and leave you. Take care, have a lovely night, and thank you so much for staying. I really appreciate you. Bye-bye.